NBA Game 5 NBA Finals in San Francisco. This thing is tied at 2 apiece. It's been a great series to this point. Last night's no different. Just over a minute left in the second. Celtics trail by 9. Jaylen Brown picked off. Gary Payton up court to Steph Curry. Look at this look to Wiggins. That's good ball movement. Wiggins, 16 points, playoff career high, tied for single high playoff career high in his career. Then Steph Curry all the way basket and layup. Have another look. I mean, that is just so good. Warriors lead 51-39. Third quarter, Celtics trailing 51-43. Jason Tatum uses the screen. Marcus Smart. Tatum makes the three. Then Brown drives, clears. Tatum again. Celtics down just 2. This game looks like it was over, but here comes Tatum. Then to Al Horford. By the way, I think they were 0 for 11 to start the game from three-point range. Now they're hot to start the third, lead by 3. Meanwhile, Curry, he was struggling. Snapped a streak of 233 straight regular season or postseason games with a made three-pointer. Curry's first playoff game without a made three. Who is going to step up in his absence? 4 minutes to play. Curry pulls up for 3. It is blocked by Grant Williams. Robert Williams passes it down to Grant. Bucket and foul. Celtics up 5. 3 seconds on the clock. Jordan Poole. All right. That, to me, was the tipping point in this game. To send it to the fourth quarter with that shot, ball clearly out of Poole's hands. Let's go to the fourth. Under 10 minutes to play. Warriors now up 5. Marcus Smart goes flying. Klay Thompson takes the space. Smart wants the foul. Klay had a big night. Under 8 now. Warriors up 7. Curry to Wiggins. He had a night. Warriors up 9. Under 4 to play. Warriors lead by 12. Wiggins had just a little bit of everything last night. He was aggressive to the hoop, had the hook shot here. Just over 2 minutes left. Warriors pulling away. Wiggins drives. Finish. Exclamation point on a 26-point night. Led the Warriors in both points and rebounds. And because of it, Warriors take game 5, 104-94. The question after the game, Steph struggles and his teammates having to pick him up.
Of course, it bothers me as a shooter. You want to impact the game that way, but thankfully that's not the only thing that you do out there. And the fact that, everybody stepped up, Wiggs, JP, Klay hit some big shots. Draymond found his life in the spirit. We could withstand going 9 for 40 as a team and me 0 for 9.
I felt more like myself, just aggressive on both sides of the ball. I felt a little more like myself in Game 4 as well after an atrocious Game 3. But, just got to continue to build.
Something I've dreamt about for sure, being in the league. And this is the ultimate stage. Doesn't get bigger than this.
Let's go by the numbers on the Warriors' big Game 5 win last night. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond got their 20th win in an NBA Finals game as a trio. They passed Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili for the most by any All-NBA trio in the last 50 seasons. A big reason for that win was the fourth quarter, where Golden State held Boston just 27% from the field. It was the Celtics' lowest field goal percentage in a fourth quarter this entire postseason. And under Steve Kerr, the Warriors have a 5-1 finals record with a 3-2 series lead. The only loss came back in 2016 when the Cavaliers came back from down 3-1 to win it all. So that means Golden State will look to close out on the road. Game 6, Thursday night, back in Boston. Let's bring in our NBA analyst, JJ Reddick, again to break this one down, because we go from Stephen Curry's absolutely incredible performance in Game 4, JJ, single-handedly leading his team to that win, to one of the worst games we've ever seen him play, 0 for 9 from 3, snapping his all-time streak of 233 games with at least 1 made 3. But this Warriors team is so deep. Statement game for Andrew Wiggins. What do you think? What was your biggest takeaway?
Well, I really believe this was not only the biggest and most important game of Andrew Wiggins' career, it was his best game. To step up in the moment, those 10 fourth quarter points were huge. And if you look at a number of those plays. He was the primary option on that play, running pick and rolls, getting a switch there on Robert Williams. And it wasn't just the points in the paint and the driving to the basket. It was his defense. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum 0 for 3 in the fourth with Wiggins as the primary defender. He scored, he defended, he rebounded. I love this redemption arc in Andrew Wiggins' career, just finding the perfect spot and the perfect role for him with Golden State.
Yeah, by many, considering him an underachiever after what happened or maybe didn't happen in Minnesota with the Timberwolves for so long. By the way, Wiggins, you mentioned the 10 points in the fourth quarter. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum combined for 10 in the fourth quarter, those two. Let's go back to game 3 for a second because Boston just dominated Golden State, 16-point win. They had all the momentum in this series, and then it shifted fast, bringing the Warriors to now within one win of their fourth title in 8 years. What was the biggest adjustment, JJ, that they made to swing this series so quickly?
Well, I'll give you two things. Number one, they got an all-time performance by Steph Curry, and I don't think that's an adjustment. Like he, from the start, whether it was showing emotion early in the first quarter, just being, a hunter of shots throughout that game, that was legendary what he did in that game 4. The one adjustment that I've seen in this series is matchups and rotations. And one of the key things for the Warriors has been Gary Payton II. I think he's been phenomenal. If you look throughout the fourth quarter, he's on the floor, and you've got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum sizing up really good defenders over and over, driving to traffic. So you've got Gary Payton II out there, you've got Draymond out there, you've got Clay out there, and they just have not been able to score in the fourth quarter. And that, to me, has been the big difference in these last two games.
Yeah, a lot changed in the last two games. So now we'll see what happens with the Warriors on Thursday. But let's talk about the other team first. Matt, with the Celtics.
Yeah, you talk about the Celtics. Turnovers, the name of the game again. Celtics committed 18 in Game 5, continuing a trend through these playoffs. Boston 1-7 when they have more than 15 turnovers in a game, and 13-2 when they commit 15 turnovers or fewer. Golden State scored 22 points off turnovers in Game 5. So the question for Jaylen Brown following the game is, what went wrong?
I will watch it and learn from it and see where we could have been better, stronger with the basketball, more aggressive. I think they did some things to kind of take us out of our spots. Overall, physicality got to be better from the jump. You just got to, be stronger, more physical, more dominant, get to the paint and make somebody stop you. And I know we're capable of it. We just got to do it.
I've said it before, you better be confident, right? We ain't got to win 2 in one day. We just got to win one game. We've been in this situation before, so, it's not over. We just got to win on Thursday, and that's all we got to worry about right now.
I mean, it's been a back-and-forth series. Last night, no different. So the formula for Boston, JJ, pretty simple. Take care of the basketball. In addition to that glaring issue, what's another major area of concern for the Celtics now entering Game 6?
I think the area of concern for both teams is points in the paint. Whoever scores the most points in the paint wins the game. Whoever has scored the most points in the paint is 5-0 in this series. Golden State, through 4 games, was averaging 32 points in the paint. Last night, they had 50. And if you go back to the Western Conference Finals, that's really where they hurt the Mavs. And part of the strategy in playing drop coverage over and over again on Steph Curry is that they don't want to be in rotations where Golden State can get cuts and get drives on closeouts into the paint. And they didn't change their coverage last night. Some of it was just the aggression of Andrew Wiggins getting downhill, Steph obviously getting buckets in transition, getting to the basket. So, that to me is a key marker in this series besides Boston turnovers. Who's going to score the most points in the paint?
And I said it during the highlight. Wiggins was aggressive. That was a change last night. But nothing's changing here with Jason Tatum again struggling in the fourth quarter. Now 5 of 21 from the floor in the final period this series. Jay, what do you make of his continued issues when the Celtics need him most?
It comes down to the same thing over and over again with Jason. That's just decision making. It's knowing when to pass the ball. It's driving with the plan. It's the shot selection. Like, he has not been able to make twos in this series at anywhere near an efficient level. And you got to give Golden State and their one-on-one individual defenders a lot of credit. And then you also have to give their help defenders a lot of credit. Because as you see here on this play with Draymond Green coming over, forcing a travel, they're always bringing 2 at some point when he gets deep in the paint. And so far, that decision making out of those plays when he has that second defender, it hasn't been good.
Yeah, Tatum's 24% shooting in the fourth quarter of this series, on pace to be the worst in the finals since Kenyon Martin.
What?
2003. Kenyon Martin.
Wow.
Today.
There you go. Good call back there. That's good.
Thanks, JJ.